Welcome to How to Cook That. I'm Reardon, and on today's show I'm going to show you how to make these amazing meringue drops. We've got lime, chocolate, raspberry and passion fruit, and the fruit ones just burst with fruity flavour in your mouth. They are really good. And also you have the chance to win a golden ticket, which what that means is you and a friend can come with me for coffee and dessert, or if you don't drink coffee like me, we'll make it hot chocolate and dessert. And at that meeting, I will bring for you a signed Breville Scraper Mixer Pro. So if you would like to know how to enter that competition, just watch to the end. I'll explain all those details at the end of this video. To make the basic meringue drops, we need 2 egg whites, sugar, icing sugar or powdered sugar, and I'll show you what to add for each of the different flavours in a minute. Place your egg whites into the bowl of an electric mixer and mix it on high speed until they are fluffy and look like this. Then add in your sugar a little at a time. All of the recipe quantities that you need for these are on the howtocookthat.net website for you in grams and ounces and cups. Now you don't have to be too slow when you're adding the sugar, just put it in about 4 lots. Then add in your icing sugar and continue to whisk it on high speed until they have stiff peaks, and that is your basic meringue recipe easy. Now to turn that into these yummy lime meringues, you want the juice of 1 lime. Pour the juice into a bowl and microwave it on high to evaporate off some of the water that's in it. And keep going until you're left with about a tablespoon of hot lime juice. Add that into your meringue, whip it up, and if you want to, you can also add a couple of drops of green colour. Now I've been experimenting with these quantities this week when I was developing this recipe for you, and 1 lime gave a nice burst of flavour, but 2 limes is a bit too intense. Place the mixture into a piping bag fitted with a star-shaped tip and pipe it in rows onto non-stick baking paper. Now meringues don't really spread out when you bake them, so you can pipe these fairly close together. To make raspberry flavoured meringue, these are my favourite, you will need 1 cup of frozen raspberries and some water. Add the raspberries to the saucepan with a couple of tablespoons of the water and place that over high heat and stir it. And you'll see over time, as well as that water evaporating off, you can see all the steam, the fruit is also cooking and breaking down. Once it looks like this, it's ready. Pour it into a fine sieve and using the back of a spoon, push it down so that you get left with the seeds in the top and this nice thick juice underneath. We only want 1.5 tablespoons, so if you've got more than that, microwave it to get rid of some more of the water. Add the raspberry puree to the basic meringue mixture and then add some red colouring too if you like, and pipe that onto your baking tray. Each batch of this makes about 1.5 trays of meringues. For the chocolate flavoured ones, what you need is some unsweetened cocoa powder and some dark chocolate. Chop the chocolate up finely. Now you want to make sure you don't have any big lumps of chocolate left, or they'll get stuck in your piping bag tip when you're piping them. Once you've made a batch of basic meringue, add the chopped chocolate on top and then the sifted cocoa powder. Then using a spatula, gently fold those together. Now if you overstir this mixture, it will go all runny. So you just want to fold it until you can't see any more cocoa powder. Place that into your piping bag and pipe stars onto the baking tray. To make our passion fruit meringues, take a tin of passion fruit and drain the juice from the seeds. Add 1.5 tablespoons of that syrup into the basic meringue mixture and a couple of drops of yellow colouring and it's done. Bake them in a low oven at around 100 degrees C for about 2 hours. You're not so much baking them as you are drying them out, so they need a fairly long time in the oven, and then when you pull them out they'll go nice and crisp. And then make sure you store your meringues in airtight containers. If you just leave them out, they will absorb moisture from the air and go soft, but in the airtight containers, they'll stay good for a couple of weeks. And the raspberry ones are my favourite. Just put them in your mouth, and it's like they just dissolve. They just pop, and you get that burst of raspberry flavour. Just amazing. Let me know which ones are your favourite and have fun experimenting with different flavours as well. So now, how can you win the golden ticket to have coffee and dessert with me, or hot chocolate and dessert with me, and go home with a signed Breville Scraper Mixer Pro? What you need to do is fill out the entry form, and I'll link to that in the description below this video, and it will have all the details of what you need to do there. And it is only open to people who can get themselves to, or who live in, Sydney and Los Angeles, because I live in Sydney, so I can't do coffee with you if I'm not there, and I'm traveling to LA next month. So as well as doing one lucky person with their friend, meeting them and giving them a scraper mixer, I will also be doing a meet and greet while I am there. And for all the details on the meet and greet, you can click here and go and find out those details, and I'll put that link below as well. You do need to register for it. It is going to be amazing fun. It's going to be like no meet and greet you've been to before. It's How to Cook That style. So have fun making these. Let me know which flavors you come up with and what you enjoy the most. Subscribe to How to Cook That for more cakes, chocolates and desserts. Click here to go to my website to see all of my other recipes and to enter the competition to win the Breville Scraper Mixer and register for the meet and greet. So much to do today. And click here to go to the channel to see all of my other videos. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all on Friday.